idea if you heard my intro earlier and I, but hi Facebook. We are on commercial break already on the radio. Welcome to the PPC radio show with Shelly Shell Williams, DJ Kid Disco, and my baby sister, MC Lyric. So happy to have her. So we're not going to get too deep into the conversations yet because we are on commercial, but we got to keep them those commercials off of Facebook because Facebook don't like music for some reason. So
Facebook, Facebook want to get paid for everything, everything.
for everything. So when we hear the little last of the commercials, then we'll know we're back on the air on the radio. So how y'all doing? How's your last few days? Shelly Shell,
Well, I'm getting better. I have really been sick. Y'all just didn't know. Like that COVID took me out. Even afterwards, I swore I was gonna jump back into life, but it made me dumb. Not that's so funny, but it made me dumb. Like I couldn't get a sentence together. I couldn't remember nothing. I couldn't even move, and I had to deal with it. I didn't want to tell nobody, but I was like going through. But I feel better today. I do. I swear I'm getting better. And I'm not as dumb as I was for that moment. That was a dumb moment.
Well, you did super well because we had a couple of shows since you got it and you have been on it. Even that first day when you were really sick, I am impressed with you.
I couldn't imagine. I didn't understand what was happening. Like I didn't know what I was feeling, but I knew I was feeling it. I was just like, I thought I was going to be good. Or, I wanted to be one of those people like, COVID didn't do anything to me, but it did. It was hard. That was a hard time in life, but I'm back.
Yeah, well, at least you didn't get that monkeypox shit.
Oh my God! You think what? They saying sex though? They saying it's coming. Sex.
I know it's passing. It's not. Please, people, do not trip. It is not a gay thing, but it has been passing with gay men and bisexual men. Because you get it from touching. And so that's how it's been spreading. So far.
I mean, but why is it just touching though? Or is it touching?
No, it's touching the sores, feeling, touching the sore. And somehow it started in that community and it's in that community. So that's why it hasn't really spread.
Radio. How it used to be.
Oh, no more things.
PPC, 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 yeah. PPC, PPC, CPC, yeah. Join me so we can grow together. Conversation, get that healing. Let them know what they're missing. Share with your best friend. Tell them come hear this, yeah. Don't you dare miss your blessing. These powerful lessons, true confessions, yeah. PPC, yeah. A powerful tool for you, yeah. PPC, yeah. A powerful tool for you and me.
All right. Welcome everyone to the PPC radio show with Shelly Shell Williams, DJ Kid Disco, and Cinda, Seabreeze, and then finally my sister MC Lyric. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
All right. Well, I don't think you've been watching the show. You're too dang on busy, so you don't have a clue what's coming. So we're going to start our first segment with Shelly Shell. Go for it.
Oh, this gonna be juicy. We get to go true confessions and see that's your sister down there, so she might not know everything about you. So you have to give us a true confession, and we have to follow suit. It don't have to be all that deep because that is your sister down there. You're like, keep that secret, but tell us true confession, and we have to follow suit.
Okay, I actually got one. So if you are important in my life, I have this thing mentally where I connect you with a song or an artist. So like if we suddenly get on bad terms, I won't be able to listen to that artist anymore, to be honest with you, because you are connected to that song or that type of musical feel.
Is that just romance or is that any relationship?
Anybody. Like
So
Cindy,
what's my song?
Cindy,
That's what I was about to say. What's
you're
her song?
jazz. To be honest, like Janelle and like jazz, I can't listen to jazz if we're beefing. I can't because that's the genre you brought me into. That was is our thing.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
so
cool.
is Janelle, you mean, is that an artist?
You know, our girl, what's her name? I can't.
Janelle Monáe.
Oh, Janelle Monáe. Okay, okay.
Because there'd be so many days we would just be listening to her, and we would always be singing with each other. That's the songs that like remind me of you. Like I can't.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cute, though. I
Janelle
like
Monáe
her.
more than jazz even.
Honestly, jazz is just the genre, the nostalgia of the genre, and like you bringing me into the whole musical world. But Janelle, that's the artist that is tied to you 100%.
And I love that because I love her so much.
Do you? Have you met her?
Yeah. No, God, I want to.
Now make it happen.
much.
You know you can make it happen, right?
Oh, I love
You know
her
who you are,
so
right?
much.
I just want you to know who you are.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna talk to her. I'm gonna interview her. She's gonna be on the show one day. I'm claiming it.
Yes.
I love her. And
I love her too. Let's go. Make it
Yeah.
happen. You're Cinda Williams. Let's go.
we gonna do it. We gonna do it. This stuff is growing. So what about you, Shelly?
I don't have people tied to a song, but I have a song for every moment. Like if you mention something, if you say like I went up yonder, in my head I'm singing the song. If you say anything is tied to a song, like anything, like somebody said, you know how on they say caption this on the Facebook or something, and I'm always gonna caption it with a song. And somebody say, you always got a song, and I say, that's right. Everything is a song. I want to sing to everything.
Testify.
You said, like, I be like, then I might start singing, testify. It might be a song to it.
There's been times when we've been on the set. I'm going back to Urban Expressions. I'm on the turn. I got a song in my head. And Shelly then went left field talking about, and start singing a whole nother song. I'm like, Shell, but the video that we're doing has nothing to do with. And she would get mad at me. Just do what I said. Just do what I said. It'll work. It's all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out. Meanwhile, the cameras are filming live, and she switches up the whole vernacular of, yeah, that's my true confession, girly.
Well,
that's
music is wonderful. Music is so, it's just so like, and then I got a Google thing here, like you say, hey Google, don't say it now. Oh, shut up. So you say it and shut up Google, but I just say play this song. I can come to my head and I just say Google, play this song, and that's how I love music. Music is
yeah. I'm the type of person, I think the only thing that I can say that's close to that is moments of my life are connected to music. I remember vacuuming in my first apartment with my first roommate that wasn't in the dorms, singing all Anita Baker songs. I remember, being in my first marriage and miserable and sad, and I couldn't stop singing You Can't Make Me Love You, or I Can't Make You Love Me, over the Bonnie Raitt version, over and over and over.
Now, here's my truth, honestly, to get back to the truth of, along.
Can I finish mine since you like?
And
then you can come back to.
That's the song, right? I Can't Make You Love Me. You said the Bonnie Raitt.
Yeah. So I'll just quickly, so moments in my life, that are connected to music. But I'm the same, depending on my mood. I can't, if I'm hurt in love, like romantic love, forget a love song. I can't listen to them. It just hurts me. It's too bad. So, and not just one artist, but all romantic music. I want to listen to some hardcore you know what I'm saying? When I'm mad, I'm very connected to my mood. when it comes to music. Whatever my mood is, you will know by listening to what I'm listening to. Okay, kid, I'm sorry.
Everybody's true confession. I'm gonna say this, and I say this all the time. First of all, music is a soundtrack of our lives, and I've told y'all that many times. And Shelly, you've seen this. Cindy, you've seen it. I will speak to you through music, especially if I'm coming at you or if I'm trying to talk to you. I will talk to you secretly. In every song, you'll be like, is this Negro talking about this? Negro's talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
I have done entire mixes. And don't let me actually love you or fall in love with you or so. Oh, you go get the business.
Mm.
And you will be grinning, you'll be looking like a Care Bear, you'll be grinning, and then like, and you be saying,
That's like next week's guest. I'm so excited to have him. It's that narration, narrating your life. He does it with poetry. Megan does it with poetry also, and her writing, all her off stuff you off.
Megan does the most.
All that stuff you do the same. Next week's guest, he's a poet, and it's the same. And music is poetry, and it's the same. But add the music to it, like the vibe. Oh my God, some songs, as soon as I hear them, I'm thinking summer. It's summertime. You know what I mean? That the tone is so awesome. It's awesome. All right, well, cool. That was a good one.
It goes perfectly with MC Lyric.
Yes. Yes, it does, and it's perfect transition. So Lyric, I know you, but I don't know everything about you. So tell the audience, whoever's listening in, about yourself, starting from Weedom to now.
So did you say Weedom?
I did.
You know what? Never mind.
No, what you gonna ask?
I'm saying meaning not weed, but we. A we girl.
Oh, I thought
child.
No,
Y'all
I really
got
thought
some
she
weed
said
on the
weed.
mind.
So my antennas went up when she said weed.
Weedom.
I thought she was, listen, my antennas, I'm sorry. You know what?
I was about to say, so I was about to start this whole topic different than what I was supposed to. It was not going to be about music for about 2 seconds.
Oh, you thought it was weed too?
I did.
See, it's not just me. She thought it was weed too. I thought she said weed.
Wait a minute. Yvette Money said, me too.
See, people on Facebook see that. I can't make this shit up.
You just can't.
Sorry. Okay, your childhood on.
But I want to hear the story that you was going to tell about the weed.
Hey, say the story you want to say. I don't care.
It was a story you was about to say. What was it? Come on,
Weedom to now, Lord. I stopped for a hot second, like a hot minute. I can't wait to go back. Honestly, I miss it because you know what? When I was younger, I didn't understand why artists used to smoke so much, but I get it. It's like opening a nice little creative door. I don't do it right now. I won't for a little bit because, it's good to have breaks in between. It's really good to give your body.
You got my attention. Wait a minute. Back. You're not going to talk over that shit like you ain't.
Okay, let's talk about it then. You don't think it's good to have breaks for your body here and there?
Wait a minute.
What do the breaks do? Like, I mean,
what a break does? Okay, I will tell you what a break does. It clears your head. And when you do smoke, if you take a day, if you're an avid smoker, but if you take like a week, when you do, the colors. That's all I'm going to say is
Yeah, it's like you've never smoked. It's like when you clear it out of your body and then you do it again, it's like it's the first time.
Like the first time you ever, and you just be like.
Because I don't hardly ever do it. So every time I do it, it's like the first time because it's so rare, that I do it. And yeah.
Cinda, you know how long I'm going without right now.
Yeah.
So why are you going without right now? What was the purpose? So if it's so creative and it gives you your vibes, why did you decide, hey, I want to go without? I mean, I know you're clearing it, but why so long?
So yeah, with this subject, I'm going to just say this,
Plead
that
the fifth. Plead the
I
fifth.
plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. But no, regardless of the reason, it is probably one of the healthiest thing I am doing for myself, because I'm sorry, after so long, it becomes more, and I'm not saying I was ever addicted to it, but it became more of a ritual than an enjoyment. It became
Mhm.
more of a, I can't deal with this person until I
Did
have
you
a
say a
smoke.
ritual?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like brushing your teeth, having morning coffee, a ritual, a daily ritual before I go to work, before I have to
You
deal.
right, because the wake and bake. You right.
Yeah,
You right.
it starts your day off right.
Right.
Because
And
sometimes,
though weed is not addictive, it can become emotionally addictive, meaning ritualistic. If it's then it's not special anymore. If it's something you're doing all the time, then it's just your way of being. It's not a special experience.
Then why
On
do you
that,
say it's not addictive if
on
isn't
that
an
note,
addiction something you have to do? If he has to do it, isn't that an addiction?
not
If
half.
it's a
keep
there's
saying he.
physical
Wait a minute.
addictions.
Why you keep
What
saying he?
there's physical addictions and then there's emotional addictions. It doesn't have a physical addictive quality like say cigarettes do because of the dopamine lift and all this kind of stuff, or coffee because of the caffeine and the upper the stimulant of that, or even alcohol, which is a depressant. It doesn't have that, but it can become emotionally addictive. Yeah.
Hmm.
So if you stop sometime, then it's good for your health to clear and cleanse, but it's also good because you don't want to be addicted to anything at
Yep.
all. Nothing. Working out, food, nothing. You don't want to be addicted. You want to have moderation and control over your body,
Because when I started
your mind.
smoking, it was more of a health thing than anything else. I had a hard time eating. I was a lot skinnier than I am now. I just did not have the appetite. I have a hyperthyroid, so I was always like, my emotions were hard to contain, especially when I was angry. I was always angry. Still always angry.
You have hyperthyroid?
I have hyperthyroid. I
Okay.
definitely do, because I don't have to be drinking or smoking for it to be activated. Because I've had a few situations where someone put me out of line because they did some atrocious things. Like if you steal from me or if you do something that I mentally feel like you completely wronged me, I have a hard time not blacking out of anger. And that's nothing I can control. That's one of the reasons I started smoking, because it used to allow me to logically calm down, to walk away, to not have to like constantly like fall into that hardcore negative emotion that I was always into, because I felt like
So
that's
basically, marijuana kept you from being booked.
exactly.
Not all the
Exactly.
time though.
Nope, not all the time.
Y'all, Megan, MC Lyric, hardcore. Okay, hardcore. I'm like always like begging her, please.
So wait a minute, you out there rumbling while you high?
People be pushing me. I be trying to enjoy my high and I can't.
Oh
You know
Lord.
what? You know what? I gotta give her one. I haven't.
You haven't done this in a while.
Yo, when you blow somebody's high, that's real personal. Like, do you know what it took for me to get here? And you gonna blow it with some stupid shit?
Man, like I'm trying to be calm and you going out your way to, because me personally, I don't like, when I was younger, like getting into fights was just, it was normal. So the older I got, the more I try to make that more of a last resort. So you really, I have to give you at least 10 different warnings for it to get to that point. I don't like getting to that point. I don't. There's no point in doing that.
And Megan is a 6-foot Amazon, okay?
I can't
You know?
believe when I heard that. I was like, what?
Wait a minute, you 6 foot?
What?
Yeah.
I can't tell by sitting down, but you don't look like it at all. You really don't.
At all? You're 6 foot for real?
6 foot, 190. Good old boxer.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah,
she said boxing, so is that one of the sports? I know you're in the sports, so is that one of the sports you've done, boxing?
Oh no, I wish it was though. I wish it was. Looking back, I feel like I would have benefited so much out of that, because I was fist fighting.
Oh, so you're not even a boxer. You just laying You just going in their
We're-
mouth.
Just a Street Fighter.
Some of the stories you have. Okay, give them one beat up story. One. Do the elevator story. Do the elevator
Oh, that
story.
was a great New Year's Eve. So it was me and my guy were just arguing already in the beginning of the night. So I'm already drinking, getting drunk. He's drinking and getting drunk. We're meeting with my friends at an elevator, at a hotel party out in Chicago. I'm not gonna say which one, but after the end of the night, everyone's drunk and a little irritated. So we get into the elevator. It's me, my girl, her guy, his friend, and me and my guy. Just, you could feel the tension just there. And then there comes in a couple who's arguing back and forth. And this dude's putting his hands on her. Of course, my girl's guy, who's Mr. Chivalry, has to put a stop to it in the elevator. Talking about some, no, man, don't put your hands on her. I'm quiet. I'm not saying anything. I lost my temper when she turns around, looks at him and starts cussing my boy out, talking about, am I allowed to cuss on here? Or no?
No.
No, okay. You end this and that. Don't talk to my man this way. So and mind you, she's about 5'2". I'm 6 foot. I'm not thinking, I don't care. I'm just irritated. Here's this little munchkin over here talking mess. So I walk up to her and she gonna hit me in my forehead. When I say it was like a good solid 3 seconds of quiet. It was like 1, 2, 3, elevator doors open, and I started pummeling this little girl. The guys started chasing the other dude around the elevator. What's it called? Knocking this boy out. Me and my girl flatlining this little munchkin and everything. Guys had to pull me off. It was great. It was a great fight because she tried to run and we got her butt. It was hilarious.
So y'all trying to stop her from getting beat and end up beating her.
Yeah.
She's like, you used to a beat down. Here go another one. Here go another one. This what you use. This what you want. You just asked for it. That's
You asked for it. Listen, I won't do nothing unless you throw the first punch or you do something atrocious. She threw the first punch. So by right, I was defending myself, you know?
all right.
Again.
Yeah, I agree. She said this little munchkin.
Oh man, I can't say nothing because for years I literally fought every day. I can't say I used to fight every day, but always boys. I only fought one girl, the girl that thought she was a boy. So, I had to learn how to contain my anger. That's why I do my meditation and yoga and all of that. Because
Why boys fighting you? Did they actually hit you? Why are you fighting boys? Exactly.
because they're all I have been dealing with, and we're going to get into the subject. I have been dealing with boys up to men that just really think that I'm some little fragile something that ain't going to defend myself when they start putting their hands in the wrong places. They're going to grab my chest, which is very easy to grab. It's so big, right? Grab my tail. They're going to get a beat down. And that I literally fought every day. I think they liked it, but it was always with different boys. It was like, somebody's going to try me. Somebody's going to touch me when they're not supposed to. And I'll beat them up. And I did. I beat them up, but I haven't had a physical altercation since 9th grade.
I hope not. You ain't supposed to be out here fighting.
No. And that's how it got stopped, because I went to the principal's office because I beat this dude up with an umbrella, and because he grabbed my boob. He grabbed my boob. I chased him down and I beat him in front of the principal and the vice principal. Whacking him on, whacking him. I was going crazy on him. And they pulled me in the office and they're like, you know what? We've heard so much about you. You're a super talented girl. Don't ruin everything by being violent. We understand why you defended yourself, but you need to let us handle that stuff. I was like, all right. And that got through to me. So
that's good. So this is a sidebar. So was your chest big in high school too? Like bigger than normal in high school too?
Yeah, compared to everybody else. I was like thin as I was. They call me string bean, but with big boobs. I always had them. As soon I went from flat chested to a C cup over a summer by 11. So by 11 years old, I got a C cup. So I've always been dealing with issues.
Why them
Uh,
boys was trying to get you, huh?
yeah. So, let me see, what time is it? We got 3 minutes. You want to go to commercial break now? Facebook,
You don't
what
want to
you
shout.
gonna?
Let's shout out everybody before you go to
Okay.
first break. Christopher
Mhm.
Oldman, Brinson, Christopher Oldman is out here and he said Sea Breeze, Jelly, Disco Lyric, he's shouting everybody out. James Patterson's that's a classic. I think that was one of the things we were talking about. And he thought we were talking about weed too. So everybody thought we were talking about the weed. So we need to go. Meg Time, what are your views on edibles? What are your views on?
I love edibles. They are a godsend. I'm sorry, because the reality is, as much as I love smoking, you're rolling it with an exterior, like an external thing. You're rolling it with a swisher, a Dutch, a wood, paper. You're smoking something other than just weed. So it's like a good, solid, healthier option because it goes straight to your blood system. Your lungs are not affected. So
Oh wow.
praise edibles.
She said praise. So you got that. Earl Davis said that. Earl said that. Yo, good. Said praise the Malik True said taking a break breaks the threshold barrier. I don't know what that means. Maybe you know. I have never had weed a day in my life. I want y'all to know that. So
Listen,
I'm on the
edibles are
opposite end of
great.
y'all.
Edibles are great when you're working somewhere. You can be
Nuts.
When you're working somewhere?
No, they're not, because once they kick in, you don't know when they're gonna kick in.
Shelly. First of all, Shell, don't
Yeah.
sit here front like I was never high on the set.
No,
I mean, that's different than working at
I
a
was
9 to 5
blasted
job.
on the set.
That's different. Everybody was high in hip hop land. I've been around it so much. Everybody was high. I don't care about that.
Which means that's usually, if I'm high, I'm working.
No, I'm at 9 to 5. She
So-
I
said
think
9.
what you're trying to say is you don't smell it on you because you took an edible, right? So you can be more up here, more professional.
Unless you do what I do, which is accidentally just stand there frozen for 5 minutes because the edible suddenly hits you and you don't even know where the hell you are for a hot second. That's why I don't do that crap when I'm working. I'm gonna be recording an artist and just stop. Just
You be like,
Yeah.
I'm still in the vibe.
The edibles are super strong. You have to be very careful. You can't, like she said, it goes right to the bloodstream. So there is no, but for me, I mean, I've had a few experiences with the edibles thing that was crazy, but it's like what happens is you take a little bit, right? This is after I, learned about microdosing. I take a little bit and it's like, oh, this ain't doing nothing. So I take more. Oh, this ain't doing nothing. And then you take more and then you can't move for 2 days. So you gotta
if you're
let
not
the
used
edible
to it,
hit.
if you're not used to it and you eat a whole brownie, you will be stuck on it.
You're
You'll be stuck.
done. You're
You're
done.
stuck.
You can't do anything. You're literally stuck on the couch.
what's better than, in my opinion, food edible is drink edibles. Like my first time coming to California, I had 100 milligram of mango edible juice. They found me in a Chinese restaurant staring at the menu for 20 minutes. They found me, mind you. I disappeared.
Wow, and you like that? You said Malik. He said he has the. Is that what that is? The 420 bomb tea? Is that what that is?
I don't
that's a
know.
drink?
Did he say tea?
Tea, yeah. Tea. He
Yes.
said 420 bomb tea.
The
The 420 bomb.
best ever.
Fruit
The
tea.
best
Fruit
ever.
tea. Sorry, fruit tea.
It is so good. It tastes so good. It just clears your throat, and it is the best ever.
And you're saying it's it's weed filled. It's weed and weed.
Yeah,
and,
it's infused
Yeah,
with weed. Yes.
Weed. It's THC. It's juice.
THC.
Remind me never to drink anything that Malik said.
You
Y'all
know
ain't
what?
gonna never know.
We're missing our commercial, but I got to tell you the story because it's appropriate. My cousin was telling me the other day, she went to this, I got to tell my daughter, she went to this bar in a neighborhood and there was a lot of weird people because they would have music and stuff, but there was some really strange folks around the thing. And long story short, somebody was saying, do you want a tattoo? Because they had all these tattoos. She was like, oh, your tattoo's nice. He's like, do you want one? I got one, and they'll go away, they disappear, whatever. They're like henna. And she was like, no, I can't do that. And because she gets an allergic reaction to stuff like that. And then she found out that they were laced with acid. So yes, they were laced with acid.
They have managed to put acid in a tattoo. That's
Yes.
just overly creative.
On a stick-on tattoo, and they didn't tell her that shit until she
Oh,
went,
okay. Because they have a thing called tabs where they put it on a piece of paper and you like put in your tongue and you eat it. So it's like
yeah, so it goes into your bloodstream through your arm or wherever you put it. So be very careful in a bar. Don't accept anything anyone offers you unless you want to get possibly screwed. Don't do it.
Wow.
Thank you for
Don't-
telling me that, because I would definitely be the one like, oh,
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
You
So
got
it's
those away in 5 seconds.
so
So
it's
you done
so-
let some stranger tattoo you? Just some stranger you?
Oh, no,
they're
not
not real tattoos. They're just like stick-ons.
like stickers.
They're like stickers. So they go away. It's not a real tattoo. They just look like tattoos, but they
You
are
know what?
real.
I heard about that. The sticker. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to tell my daughter because she just turned 21 and already went to the dispensary and got her a bottle. So before she goes to a bar, I need to warn her.
Yeah, please warn her. Please, make. I mean, dang, that's some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it freaked me out. I mean, I got roofie before, because this is the other thing that I'm sure you guys know this, but don't, unless you see the bartender pour that shit, don't drink anything, and don't leave your drink. The other day we went out dancing. I'm like, no, I just took mine all down. I just drink it all up. But my friends like brought their drink on with us because people roofie it. You can't leave an open glass anywhere. And you gotta see. As a matter of fact, I try not to get anything unless it's a new bottle. I want a new bottle. Or I take a drink, bartender. People do crazy stuff. They do. I've heard it.
acid. They're trying to kill us out here.
Yeah. And this is like in a really ritzy, fancy place. This ain't no hood. This is like fancy place, and they doing stuff like that to people.
That is
So it's dangerous.
Ladies,
commercial.
I'm here, but I'm having a hell of a problem with my camera.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Can't press
You
start.
finally went and broke it. What's wrong with your camera? Fix it.
It doesn't like you, Shelly.
It might not. That's your manny cam. You shouldn't have changed the setting.
Why
So
you
are we
fucking
doing
on-
commercials?
It's not
Yeah.
Manny, it's Minnie.
Can you go to commercials, kid?
Yeah, it's up to y'all.
Let's do that because we got a little bit of extra time. We're not.
Yeah, I forgot.
rushing.
All right.
Yeah, we're not gonna like go too long, but because I know people got stuff to do, but we're not gonna like we're done.
We're done. We're gonna go.
We're gonna go right away because we want to get into some more conversations with MC Larry. So
It's the PPC Radio Show. Hosted by Cinda Williams. Co-hosted by Shelly Shell Williams. Music by DJ Kid Disco. On the Grown Folks Radio. Yeah. WGFB-FM Radio.
So are you ready?
How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
After these messages, we'll be right back. So are you ready?
all right, Facebook. So as you know, we can't play the commercials on here because Facebook won't.
They like, I don't want them commercials anyway. Thank
I
you.
know. But we do the commercials to pay the bills, but also to go to the bathroom. But
Oh, that is true. Yes,
there is no break without the commercials. But what was it gonna say? So we can continue on the weed conversation. We'll change it up when we come back from the break.
Yeah, because we
So-
gotta find out more about MC Lyric. MC Lyric.
Yeah, my sister is the one who introduced weed to my daughter, and who is
Really?
now. Oh yeah.
Did you?
She
really,
that aunt. She that aunt with her nieces and nephews. She that
I mean,
aunt.
she not that far in age. I mean, that they like,
Mhm.
they basically,
Megan is all of their favorite aunt. She is the favorite by far. I'm the old head that they're afraid of.
oh,
Monica, I don't know what they think about Monica Sadaka, but Megan's the favorite auntie. And
she
Monica,
is
I mean,
almost their age.
yeah,
So they get to
yeah,
hang out and stuff.
that's why. I mean, and she's fun.
Yes, absolutely.
She's
I'm never
fun.
gonna do a first. I'd rather it be with me because I like to think that I've kind of done so much stupid stuff that I can give them all the warnings and maybe they'll listen to me because like I like being the first for a reason. So I can be like, here's the instructions on what to do, what not to do, who not to do it around. For the love of God, if you ever want to get intoxicated or anything like that, be with me. I'll take care of you.
Mhm.
Because I've done way too many stupid things where I wasn't taken care of, and that's not a good position to be in. It's just
Mhm.
not. I don't like. That's why, like, it may have been. I don't know. Like when with your kiddo, what's it called? I just felt like it was important to at least experience that with her, so that she had. So I don't want no one taking advantage of my kiddo.
Did
Not
she
my
like
son.
it?
Oh gosh, absolutely,
Oh, she liked
absolutely.
it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, on her birthday, when we took her out that night, in some of the pictures, people were commenting, her eyes look really sad. Is she okay? I was like, she was high.
I know she was. I could tell.
Both of them, both her and her boyfriend were high. Oh my God, it was so hilarious. By the way, oh no, I'm not gonna say that on the air. I'll tell you later. Anyway, yeah, there was somebody made a comment about my baby. Man, I wish I knew who this person was. I
On
was just
Facebook? Oh.
that weirdo that just thinks it's their business to tell me mine
Mhm.
and made a really nasty comment about my daughter.
I hate miserable people. I'm sorry, miserable people are the worst.
How it
Out
used
of
to
their
be
way.
Bad sex.
for everyone.
Bad sex.
24/7, 365.
All right, welcome back to the PPC Radio Show with Shelly Shell Williams, DJ Kid Disco, and MC Lyric. If you weren't with us before, we had a phenomenal conversation about weed. Uh, So you can always go back and watch it later. And by the way, can you please share this on your page? Tell all your friends about this show because we want to reach even more people because we realize through the show that there's so many wonderfully talented people that we all need to support, you know. And then today it's MC Lyric, my sister, who is a musician and a author and a poet and a musical engineer and a whole bunch of other things, model, actress. Golly, she beat me on things that she does. So let's get into that. Let's go from your transition from basketball, sports into what you're doing now.
Like I basketball was my life. I started playing ball when I was 9 years old, like within an actual school system or a park district. One of my first memories of daddy is him like showing me how to dribble a ball and everything else. And I loved basketball, but after 7 surgeries, I had to make a decision because like art became a therapy for me because it's hard surgery after surgery after surgery and
But what were you having surgery on? But why so many surgeries? Is it because your body just did not want it to be doing that?
So I remember my first one. My first one was just a freak accident. It literally was just me planting my foot and twisting my entire body and snapping my ACL in half. It was a combination of freak accidents on the court to me just coming back too early and my body not able to sustain it. And me not wanting to stop because I at least wanted to get to college ball before I gave up. Because after all the surgeries, all the basketball camps, shooting programs, high schools I went to, I had to at least make it to a certain point. I felt like I needed to get to a finish point before I can continue on. And when I hit my freshman year in college and we were in summer ball, it was just because my ligaments were overly tight. The court was filled with like blood and sweat. It was horrible. And it was a hot 100-degree day. All I did was make a jump, and I tore my ACL and my meniscus for the last time. I had surgeries on both of my knees 6 times total, and one on both of my feet. So it was at that point I decided that I maybe needed a transition from what I've been doing all this time to something that I've actually did want to give a shot to, which was theater, which was my writing, which I had been using as a way of mentally escaping from not being able to walk and being in pain constantly because of like the healing process. So I started trying to figure out what I really wanted to do, because in between all that time, I was drawing, I was painting, I was in theater here and there, I was writing, I was doing my poetry, because all of those things were a healing process for me. And so I decided to take my healing process and make it into an actual career move, because I was pretty daggone good with it. So, because if I would have kept going, the reality is at that point, I would have done more damage than good on my body. I already have arthritis on both my knees. Good.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was, from gymnastics, I ruined my knees. To this, from 8th grade on, the most horrific pain and arthritis at such a young age, and I think,
Wait a minute, wait
I
a minute,
always
wait a minute.
believe that people need, what I learned from my own experience and from watching my sisters and my brothers, is that you really have to be conscious of how much you push your children to play
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
one
Hold,
sport.
hold. Back up. Cece,
Mm.
you never told me you did gymnastics.
Mhm.
They said on the show a few times.
Mhm. Yeah, I was a gymnast. You were high. You didn't hear me.
I'm high all the time. What is that? What is me being high after all?
Because you be
I don't
missing
believe-
some stuff.
you
be
missed things. But yeah. So I just think that, because I was like Megan, except for I was in gymnastics instead of basketball. And I was constantly in competition. I played for school. I played for a league. I was constantly pounding on my knees for years.
But
And
does any of this give you a scholarship to schools or anything? All this stuff?
no, I quit. I had to stop. My doctors were like, we're going to have to replace your knees. So you need to stop. And I was 13. I just
Place
was,
your knees at 13. That's
they're like, you're going to have knee replacements. You have to stop. So I did. I mean, they're like, you don't have to stop, but you have to understand that you're going to have issues for the rest of your life. You're only 13 years old, and you're going to have issues for the rest of, and I have. I didn't stop soon enough. And I've always had, I embarrassed my daughter, because when we are going upstairs, if we're going down the stairs, I have to do it backwards. I have to go down backwards on the stairs, because it hurts my knees so much to try to just go straight down. So, but I just don't think that parents understand. They really are pushing for their children to excel, and they're trying to get them scholarships and stuff, so that they start them super early, well before their bodies are developed enough for that kind of strain. And then they're only doing one sport over and over and over again. She did basketball all the time. She didn't move any other way. If she had done maybe swimming and basketball, maybe run, 3 different sports, I know it's a lot, but it's better for your body.
And I can attest to that, because when I was doing swimming a little bit, or I ran track that 1 year, when I say there was a whole difference with how my body was moving, like I was more fluent, and I felt better, especially when I was running track and doing basketball at the same time. My stamina was amazing, but my legs, because I have tight hips. I got daddy's hips. Hips tight. So if I don't move them, I don't stretch them, I don't do nothing to them, they feel like wooden planks. And running kind of forced them out of that. I didn't realize how bad they were until I started running. And that's why I started running in the first place, because I realized the correlation between that and basketball was so amazing. So amazing.
Yeah.
You didn't get a scholarship either to college. So you do all this work for basketball.
So
you get a scholarship?
I got a scholarship here and there, but the thing is, so that was a whole political issue, to be very honest with you. Basketball's so political, especially with coaches who are trying to go past high school into college ball. and I'm not gonna throw no names out there, so that you know who I'm talking about. What's it called? Between the political differences and where I was pushed to, and on top of the fact I didn't know how far with basketball I wanted to go at that point. Because at the point I was looking for colleges, I already hit 5-6 surgeries. So it was a debate whether to go to D1 school, where I would have to make that my entire career, and I would legit be giving up a lot of things I didn't want to aspire to do, or maybe possibly go to a D2 or D3 school where it would be a lot less strenuous. And even D2 was asking for a lot, because at that point, if you're not trying to go pro, you are looking at coaching. You're looking at doing something that isn't totally encompassed with basketball. And at that point, I didn't know if I wanted to keep on going. I did not know.
In D3, you don't get any looks.
You don't get nothing.
None at D3. Yeah.
Nothing. If you don't got good grades and you're going to D3, you're gonna have a hard time. And that's actually part of the reason why I left my first college. When I saw what my mom was paying for me to be there, I remember that day. I told her to put her check back in her book and let's go home. I'll figure it out. I'll go to the next place, because at that point I knew I needed to keep on moving, because it wasn't worth it. What she was paying and what she was working, no, it was not worth it to me. And that's another reason why I started my art. I needed to do something that was worth the money and the time. 100%.
And you said, and you thought art was meaning drawing. What was your idea when you say art? What were you trying to do? What kind of career were you going to have with art?
I had no idea at that time. I had no idea. I had no idea. I didn't have the time to really find out what I want to do, because all I was doing was rehabbing in basketball. And I technically started, I guess what you would consider late. And it was actually, I'm happy I started later, because I started with more of an adult mindset. I got to watch Cinda. I got to do things older versus as a kid, because I don't know, maybe it was a disadvantage, maybe it was an advantage, but I got to start when I was like 19, 20 years old, and I fumbled a lot around trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Then I had to figure out, should I come up with a plan B? Should I put all of my resources into acting? Is that what I wanted to do? Was it music? Was it drawing? I didn't know what I wanted. And then after about a couple colleges, and I'm not gonna lie to you, failing a lot, I finally figured out where I fit. It took some years though. It definitely took.
What was the fit? So when at the college, what kind of college was it, and what was the fit?
Well, the college didn't have anything to do with my fit at first, because it was a lot of times me going back to school for plan Bs, which was massage therapy school, which was maybe I need an education degree while I'm trying to do music, because I was so nervous and I was just taking so many people's different advices. I found out though that music was it for me, and acting, because I'm a damn good actress, but music is something I was more encompassed into, because I grew up playing like, the trumpet here and there. I started with the violin, going between different instruments, figuring out what I liked in between my mess of a attempted basketball career. But I basically found out I had multiple loves. And so I try to start with one and branch out to others. Music became my base.
Speaking of music, can I ask this question?
Yes, for $5.
I gotta owe you something. Stamps ain't come out yet.
I got 5 on it. There was a song to it. I couldn't stop. Go ahead.
And as far as you making, because I've heard your beats, I've heard your music, and from what I understand, when you did a couple episodes, I think, for Cinda, and you were literally making the beat as they were talking. And I do that myself. What goes through your mind when you're doing it? Like when you're, where does your mind go? Because I know where mine goes. So where does your mind go when you're as they're talking? What comes over you?
I kind of pretend I'm there, almost make it like a movie in my head. Like, and this is the soundtrack of what's happening in that moment. And I capture and I try to connect with the person who is the lead role of this, like it's Cinda normally. So I go by her questions and I kind of go off the emotion of the answers. I kind of make it as if he's telling or she's telling their story and their life story. So what would be the soundtrack to that life story? because my best pieces were the ones where they would be conversing back and forth. And normally the rest of the beats I would like create for the podcast would come off of that one main beat I would create. Like, so what I would do is I would pretend I was there, they're having the conversation in front of me. And as a composer, I would go off of what I feel that would feel like. Would I cry? Would I be happy? Would I laugh? Would I be sad? Would I be angry? And so I would compose to the tone of it and then go from there. And like, I would always go off of how the person sounded, because that's the only way I make music in the first place, is off of emotion. Because
So you consider yourself more of a composer than a producer?
Yes, hands down. More of a composer than a producer, more of an audio engineer than a composer, if that makes any sense to you.
Makes perfect. You know, it makes sense to me. Oh, I get it.
You know he get it. You know he get it. But no, that is amazing to be able to just feel somebody's emotions and write a song or compose the music. So as your love, you have a drum set behind you, a keyboard with drum set and the keyboard. So you go from place to place. Like, all right, wait a minute, let me go play this right now. I'm gonna go over here. And
I want to see her play the drums.
I'm actually resetting her up because what I was doing a 4-piece set earlier. I'm just putting back up my cymbals and everything. This is the instrument I play when I'm pissed off. If I'm playing my drums, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. If I'm playing my piano, I'm normally feeling something really deep. And because the piano is probably the instrument I'm the closest to emotionally. That was the first instrument I actually owned. Like all the other instruments I was talking about earlier, the violin, the trumpet, those were rentals. But the piano was my first owned instrument. I got my first piano back at mommy's house right now. I can't wait to eventually grab it but yeah, no, I am actually trying to get back into playing the violin and everything else, because each instrument pulls a different string for me. But yeah, I'm definitely planning on, my YouTube page is going to be coming out next week, and I have a few instrumentals I'm going to be putting out, and I'm going to be playing the drums and the piano on there individually, putting them together as one song. So I can't wait to show you guys.
Oh, I can't wait.
So wait a minute, are you
I
on
can't
some
wait to
Sheila?
listen.
Are you on some Sheila E type of drummer? You know, boom, 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 or
What's it called? It actually, you know what, honestly, to be very real with you, I am more of a punk rock what's it called, almost a guitarist, Lord have mercy, drummer than anything else. I play so like emotional.
Yeah, like
It's fun. It's more like I swear to God, it's more fun. It's more the freestyle drumming thing is more my style, because it's so much more enthused. It's so much, because when I'm thinking about drumming, I think about Linkin Park. I think about what's it called, the Gorillaz. I think about bands like that who kind of incorporate like if you look at the band itself, each person kind of brings their own emotion into it. Like, I love the daggone drummers to the Gorillaz, because he is a very smooth person when he wants to be at all times, and only when he wants to be. You always can tell what that man feels like by whether he's overusing his toms or not, or if he decided to tighten up his snare and wanted to make it a more of a golden type of sound. I'm sorry.
she's like, look, I got into music, but do you write music, or are you learned this by learning it, or did you learn the music too, learn the notes and all that? You write music, and that you do all of that?
I definitely do write music. I definitely can say I grabbed little bits of information from everybody I could. Like, I know music theory, so I know how to write notes. So I don't enjoy writing notes. The only reason I do it is for musical reference. Like, if I have to go back to a song and figure out, okay, I'm using this in B flat major, like, now I know what chords to use because of that. That's the only reason I do that. Like, otherwise, if I can, I'll just make it a simple composition where I'm doing tabs for each daggone instrument, call it a day.
And what's the overall, like, all right, you plan to create for different movies? How do you plan to use all of, I mean, you was like super talented. How do you plan to use all of this in the world?
For myself, mainly, to be honest with you, I want to increase my artistry more than anything else. Now, when I grab people with me and go up, that's the plus. But I want to create my own empire one of these days. I want to create my own production company. I want to bring other artists together and incorporate composition, not just in what's it called, and beats and like actual audio workstations with actual instruments. I feel like that's one of the reasons why Post Malone is so daggone successful, because that's what he does. He incorporates his actual metal playing with his beats and puts them together and creates this composition that just sounds so crystal clear. That's what I want to do. I want to do that for my music and other people's music, because it's that's what I love to do. Now, in regards to my other stuff, that's just a tag along. Like my writing, my art, and all that good stuff, those are separate individual businesses. Like the stories I write, like I have a following on fanfiction.net for a novel I'm putting out there, a fan fiction I'm putting out there. And for people who like to read epics, like I do about 10,000 words a chapter. For my paint, like I like to make like cover albums for people, and for myself to like, you know, encompass our artistry into like canvases so we can do printouts. And the music wise, I'm just trying to create my production company for starters. Now, in regards to soundtracks, I definitely do that for people's short films.
Do you see a combination, a collaboration between you and Cinda? Do you see this song? You have a song in your head that Cinda can do that y'all can collab on? Do you feel it?
Oh yes. If I was gonna do it for Cinda, a song for Cinda right now, I automatically use like I would throw a guitar, a nice solid bass, and drums, and that's all she would need, because her voice is an instrument in itself. She only needs about 3 instruments behind her, honestly. Like maybe a piano too, maybe. But to be honest, like I have a few songs I would love to put underneath Cindy, simply because she influenced the jazz blues fusion I have in my music. That's Cinda, because again, she helped me incorporate jazz into what I do today. So that's the jazz music I have, is when I make that, like I said earlier, when I think about jazz, I think about her. I think about the notes she showed me, how to sing jazz, how to deal with jazz, what jazz is, the freestyle spirit it has. So hands down, I have music for her.
You ready,
Yeah,
Cinda? Let's go.
Well, we were talking about that before I left. It's just we ran out of time, but you know, Megan did the music for me. Well, she produced the song. That was more of a production deal for a soundtrack from a movie I did that has not come out yet. I think it's coming out this fall, Mad as Hell. She did, she produced that song for me. And I'm doing a short film. Well, it's actually a pilot for a film, and I've already talked to her about doing the score for that. She's going to do the score for that. And then I have my niece, Corinne, who I want to have on the show, who is a phenomenal singer. She's so good. And I want her to sing on my soundtrack. So I'm actually doing projects where I'm trying to incorporate all the talented people. And I mean, there's so many gifted people in my family on it. And Megan is definitely, she can act. Like she said, she's an actress too. So she's going to be in it in a lot of different ways.
So what are some ways you're pursuing the acting? You don't get to do it as often as you like, I'm sure. So what are some ways you're pursuing the acting? Are you
I've been doing
independent?
So what I've been doing is a lot of extra gigs out in Chicago for TV shows. I did extra gig for Empire, what's called The Chi, like Chicago-based films is what I've been doing so far. I've been currently getting an agent for myself, because I am planning on going independently. Like I have been, because when I first started doing it, I was doing student films, and then it went into actual like short films. I definitely have a few short films that I have been in that were absolutely fun to do and taught me actually more about sound than I ever realized. That's actually part of how I used to incorporate sound in film for a while, because when I went to Tribeca for a little bit, I was doing scores for films, but also doing like the boom operator and just like mixing sounds like post-production, which helped me figure out like what I didn't like in regards to how some people were acting. So I started doing it more myself. And so I've definitely been diving into TV shows a lot more lately. So I plan on moving up with that. Even if I don't have the time, I'm going to make the time to do it, because eventually my toe is going to strike where I want to be at, and I'm going to use whatever platform I'm in that moment to like boost everything else I'm doing up.
Yeah, I wrote a couple of roles for her because I just think she's really good. And so moving forward, I'm trying to figure out which project I'm gonna do first, but I have a new YouTube thing that I'm doing, and a new, like I said, pilot for a series that I want to do. And she's got roles in that, and then some feature film stuff also. And actually, 2 series I have. So yeah, this is all happening. It's happening as we speak, and I'm excited. I really want to get into for a little while. We're gonna go over our time a little bit. Maybe we should do a commercial break. Do you think? No, we can talk. Okay, so we want to talk a little bit about this respect shit. You know what I'm saying? RESPECT, because it's something that I have had to deal with my entire career, and you're going through now, and I am aware that my daughter's going to have to go through it eventually. And I know not only women go through this, but young men go through this also. This whole idea of I'm the boss, so do what I want you to do sexually. That is just, it's a power trip, control trip that a lot of men and some women, I've heard of it, some women do. They use their powerful position to exploit people, young people primarily. But I'm 56 years old and I am still dealing with it. To this day, I am still dealing with it. So what has been your experience, Meg?
Lord, so I'm not gonna lie to you. It was one of my first letdowns. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was a producer I looked up to like no other. But I did what I thought I was supposed to do. Dress cute, be nice, keep a smile on your face. Cause I thought that if I do that, maybe I went about it wrong when I first started. I did actually the exact opposite of what I was supposed to do, which was be overly friendly, which is how I am, honestly, in person.
I thought I was going to say, you were just being yourself. You do dress cute. You are cute. I call her my wildflower. She wearing them crop tops and can do it because she got them, 6-foot legs and stuff. Mm-hmm. And she was just being herself, but being herself was far too sexy for some of these fools.
It's to a point where I have to constantly talk with whoever I work with about their partners, because women in general are not comfortable with their men working with me, and I've ran into my fair share of drama with that one, like where women will legit tear up a studio session because I'm working with her man, and I'll just be sitting there turning a knob and suddenly I'll hear 3 bangs at the daggone door. It's to a point where I have to be very upfront. I can be nice, but to a point, because either it's been too many times where I've lost work because I'm not out here opening my legs, and I refuse to just outwardly do that with, what's it called, for music. I'm trying to showcase what I'm doing. I'm trying to, and maybe it's not the greatest thing for me to say, I guess, because, people like the tease. They like the what if she will give in? What if she don't? And what I have a problem is you can keep that to yourself and everything, but it's when you won't get work done with me constantly because you're waiting for what you expect and I'm not giving you what you expect. So now you're delaying our work that you made a written promise about because I'm not having sex with you. That's my problem with that. And I've dealt with that my entire career. It drives me nuts, actually. It's hard to be nice about it, because I don't know how else to deal with it, to be honest with you. I don't know how to not be nice with it and not chase people away.
But see, here's the thing with that. Here's the thing. I'm going to go back to what you just said. And that goes for a studio session, construction site, whatever. If his woman is showing up to cause drama or whatever, if she pulling up, that ain't the first time he did that.
Oh, of course.
So the problem is him, not the woman. It's
no, I don't care about her. I don't care about what she gotta say to me. I've never went out of my way to talk to the woman who has a problem with me, because you're not important right now. What's important is our client and this relationship I'm trying to have with your man in regards to this production movement I'm trying to make. If he can't handle his household, and if he can't take care of what he got to take care of, then I don't need to work with you, because that it's unnecessary drama. Because I'll tell you one thing, if I went into a man's studio and I had my boy walking up in there busting down the door, I lose that producer in a heartbeat, just like that.
Yep. Double standard all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the point in my career where I'm trying to create my image, because I'm not trying. The reality is I'm going to intimidate folks, and that I have to come to that conclusion. And that might sound arrogant on my part, but I have to accept that, and I can't be emotional about it. It just is what it is. So I either got to stick with what I've been doing or create a new image, and that's that, honestly, at this point.
The thing is, when you're real, when you're honest about, you know, in your upfront, look, okay, let's just clear the air right away. I'm very, you know, professional. This is a professional thing. This is what I do for you. This is this, and keep personal shit out of it. You know, just keep the personal boundaries somewhere else. Now, if organically you work with a person over and over again and y'all become friends, that's different. But right off the bat, we ain't here to be buddies. We are here to create this music, and that's what we're going to do. And just and you're going to be called a bitch. You're going to be called names because you're supposed to be like, you're supposed to do that, you know. But you can't do that, because then it immediately, when you look a certain way, that is, all of a sudden all the business goes out the window and people start tripping. It's frustrating.
It's like I feel like I have to work harder than everybody else around me. It is especially as an audio engineer, it's a male dominated area. It just is. And if I've had a few times where I walked in looking cute, I started working with my wires, my XLRs and everything else, and someone looked at me like, "Oh, you're the audio engineer?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the engineer. This is what I do." Looking me up and down and said, "Is there anybody else?" What? Oh, I get that. I've gotten that plenty of times because I wore leggings and a crop top to work. What's it called? It's just I had to be knowledgeable. Like we were talking on the podcast, that's been my only saving grace, is because if I ignore the crap and I don't let someone literally push me aside and I just do what I know what I can do, and I just keep face, regardless of the ignorance that comes out of anybody's mouth, eventually, sometimes I do earn respect. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm just going to get a hard time no matter what I do. It's just,
we talked about a uniform. You know, I was talking to Megan about this, or MC Lyric. I'm sorry, I keep calling you your legal name, but she, you know, I was like, you got to look at it almost like it's a uniform. You know, go there dressed a certain way. So you're saying with your appearance right off the bat, I'm here for business, and whatever that means. You could still be cute and with some jeans and a shirt or whatever, but just a little bit less you, unfortunately, and a little bit more professional. It's like if you're working as a mailman, you're not going to wear, or a male woman, whatever, you're not going to wear anything but the uniform. You almost have to create a uniform for that kind of job. And I told her, shoot, take a picture where you and your man set that stuff right up there, so anybody come walking in, they see that. It may not always work, but it's like we got to work around stuff sometimes.
Sure.
But is that fair that she has to not wear what she wants to,
nope.
to do?
It's not. It's not.
So are you planning to wear the uniform without the crop top and the tights and the
Yeah, I'm planning on making some modifications at the very least. Like, I definitely would like to play more on my tomboy side. Like for example, I probably am going to end up, and I've been thinking about this for a while, like incorporating like sexy, cute, but with more like just not flat out masculine energy, but like, you know how Sierra used to do the whole like look? She used to hit that look with the crop top, but she would always wear these nice sweatpants. Like, she would be super tomboyish, you know what I'm saying? And it was so cute on her. But it was like, because I'm already like, I get along with men really good. Like I always have gotten along with men real good. So that's never been the problem. It's like Cinda said, that they would look at how I dress and they would just make their assumptions. If I start maybe dressing more like my personality, maybe a little bit more, which is a lot more rough than what people think it is.
But here's the thing. That's not just an industry, this industry thing. And here's the thing. A woman can be a truck driver. A woman can be a maintenance man. A woman can be do anything that a man do. But if she's good at it, they automatically say, even DJing, they automatically say, "Oh, well, she's got to be gay. She's because of the male dominant."
Oh yeah.
She like girls. That's only why she's good. No, that don't mean your sexuality and your profession, one has nothing to do with the other whatsoever.
Because 100%, if she goes the Sierra look with the sweatpants and the thing, somebody's going to instantly think, oh, she must be. Yeah, I mean, she must be, lesbian.
Mm-hmm. My thing is, who cares what they think?
But here's a whole nother, because a lot of men have the problem with this. A woman making more or having a bigger bigger role position or whatever, or make more money. Now all of a sudden she hates men. Or here's another one. Let's say that she does. Let's say the woman is bisexual, but she has a bigger position, and she hires women not because she likes girls, but because she's there to empower women. But you got these weak ass minded men that'll be like, "Oh, that's just because she like girls." No, it ain't got her liking girls ain't got nothing to do with her job. Unless she's a porn star, her liking girls has nothing to do with that. And I really wish, as a man, I hear men say that silly shit all the time. Oh, well, if she into, she must be gay. Even if she is, what that got to do with her skill level? Who cares?
One thing
you could be into having sex with a bear. I don't care. Can you do your job?
But the one thing I am noticing about this field, though, is that in a way, sex matters. In a lot of ways, actually.
This field is very egotistical. That's why.
So that's why I try to not. I'm direct, but to a point. Even right now, I am direct, but to a point, because they take that people take it seriously, sensitive about that.
Because this field is ego driven, and because of the things of the past, the things that have been laid out in the past, they automatically think if you're a woman, you're either trying to get next to somebody with money, or you're a video vixen, or you're a groupie, or whatever. You can't be knowledgeable in this business and be a female, according to a lot of.
But that's why women at this particular point in business are taking over. So that's why she's going to go ahead and build her empire and do it herself and make sure, like, listen, I'm gonna do this. Get that big break, do what she got to do, build her empire, and then they're gonna be like, oh, I see, and then they're gonna want a job from her.
And what Oprah did?
Yeah,
Oprah did, but I don't know if Oprah faced the same thing. Honestly, I don't believe because as a plus size woman, I don't face fate. Honestly, now I'm in a male dominated business for all my life. I never had to go through that because nobody was trying to get with me. Believe it or not, they weren't. So I didn't have to go through that. So I don't know if Oprah had to go through the sleep with me. They probably was like, they was too busy saying, oh man, all them jokes they used to say about, mm-hmm. which is a shame that it has to be that way, but that's probably what happened. Yeah. I never heard her even say anything like that.
Yeah. You're right. She hasn't, and I've listened to her a lot. She had all kind of problems, but not that kind of problem. This kind of problem comes from being what the world perceives as sexy or whatever, what the
Mhm.
world perceives, mind you, because like we know DJ Kid Disco, like him, some thick sisters, right? So different people have different tastes. But generally, someone that looks like Megan is going to have to face that issue. And I have had to face that issue and on an ongoing, it's been an ongoing battle for 33 years. I've had to deal with this, and it's not, I always was so, I remember thinking, man, when I get older, it's going to be so nice. That pressure is going to be gone. I'm not going to have to deal. It has only gotten worse. It has not. And it's not, for me, it's not sex. It's, will you marry me? I get that crap all the time. Move in with me, marry me. I can't count how many times I've had a marriage proposal from somebody I didn't know. They think they know me after a conversation. And they get extremely rejected when the answer is, can we please get to work? They get rejected.
How dare you?
How dare you want to work? How dare you want to work? What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's why we have to continue to build our own, to do our own, to create our own. You have to, so we don't have to deal with any other's perceptions of what it is. I mean, all this talent y'all got, man. Take over this.
Hold on, y'all know me. I'm okay. I'm great. Go there.
What you gonna say?
No,
Play Negro's devil's advocate.
I'm ready for you.
Is there? Let's keep it 100. There are some females that will.
I'm glad you said that. Actually,
That's where these dudes get that from. Like somebody done broke bread before.
of course, and it does make it harder for women who don't want to do that, and that's the reality. Women who set those standards make it harder for women who ain't trying to go by those standards. The reality is, I'm going to say it. A lot of the times, it's the community you're trying to represent that makes it harder for you. How blacks make it harder for blacks, how women make it harder for women, how black men make it harder for black men. Everyone was clowning Will Smith when he was going through his emotional problems with Jada. Guess who was clowning him? Black men. Like, we kill ourselves. Like, and you know what? If a woman wants to go sleep with everybody to do what they got to do, that is fine. That is fine. That's perfectly fine. Now, whose fault it is that's the status quo? That, in my opinion, that's two sides right there. That you get it once, now you're expecting every other female to do that for you. That's childish. Or if you're a woman and you telling every other every dude you with that if a woman don't do this for you, then she ain't worth nothing. That's her problem. Everyone playing a role in this crap. But the reality is we don't help each other. That we are so busy trying to compete with each other that we act like crabs. Someone does better than you, you bring them down. Instead of, hey, let me use this person to build each other up. We're going to use the opposite sex for what we got to do. But now we're doing that so much to a point where any other woman comes and steps on our toes to be right there with us. We got a problem with it. Yeah, we are each other's problem. Always have been.
And some people don't like to say it. And it's not wrong for you to say it. It's the truth. I mean, sometimes we don't see the problem as the problem. Like, if we see black folks as black folks are, like, listen, come on. I could be black power all day long. However, the truth is sometimes black doesn't always work for black.
Like, we're the only community that doesn't, like, if you go to a Chinese community, what are they all buying? Chinese products. If you go to a white community, they're buying white products. We don't do that. We don't do what we need to do for our own community. We're one of the very few communities in this country that doesn't support each other at all. And we tear each other down.
But then at the same time, then you'll hire some folks, and then they don't show up till 2 hours late, or they do a half-ass job. So you're like, let me call, the senor over here because
he gonna do it.
Ain't doing the job I need him to do. I just need you come and cut my grass. I need my grass cut at 8 a.m. like you said you was going to be. Don't show up at noon. Get the stuff done how I'm paying you, because if you don't, I'm gonna go to Mr. or Senor Perez and ask him to do it, or somebody else. Or if I go to the store and I see some rodents running around, I'm gonna go to the store where I don't see some rodents running around. So it goes all through all of that,
That's why I got a shout out real quick to my mentor thank you so much, Marshawn, for being a Black man and bringing up Black students around you, incorporating that all in Chicago for audio engineers, because there ain't a lot of us. And I freaking love you for what you've done for me. I had to say that real quick, because that man, since I went to SAE Institute, has taken me under his arm, taken a bunch of us who didn't know where to go, and like put us in so many different areas and locations where they weren't used to Black kids running these monitors and taking care of all these chords and taking care of all the mixing and mastering and all this other stuff, trying to help spread that throughout Chicago. So thank you, Marshawn. I appreciate you for being that man.
So the point is, what she's saying, somebody said, aren't we all Black kids? But the point is, you will find someone. And when you do find that one who helps you, put you on, brings you up, you give them the credit. Because is there one? There's always one. There's always someone that's there to help. But in the world,
I mean, you guys are the perfect example. I mean, I didn't know nothing for radio. I don't know anything about that guy. You know, I'm a performer and stuff like that, but I don't know nothing about this stuff. And you guys, you've been doing it. You're pioneers in it, and you came in and you're helping me with it. You know, and I am thankful for that. You know, that's why every podcast I'm like, you know, shout out to DJ Kid Disco, not just because he did it, but because I'm appreciative that he did it. So like you said, you got to praise the ones and encourage the ones that are, because then it's like a domino effect. More people will help more people, and I'll help somebody like somebody else help me, and on and on and on. And that's how we grow and evolve.
It was a learning process for both of us, though.
Mm-hmm.
CC, it really was, because I was so green back. I didn't know what the hell I was. We was talking about that before we got on the air, y'all. Like I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but man, higher brother, man. You know what I mean?
Hire a brother, brother for hire.
And that's the other thing. Hire a brother. You know, I mean, you know, if they don't come with the work ethic, then they got to go. Okay, then I'll hire the next brother, next sister. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm not gonna give up on my people.
Now there's a difference. Hold on. There's a difference between showing up and showing up, having a good work ethic and all that, but you don't know what the hell you're doing. See?
No, I mean, all that goes together. You got to know what you're doing and have all that other stuff.
I was great on some real. I'm gonna keep it 100. Couple years. I'm showing up on time. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
No, it all goes together. Doing it well, showing up on time, being professional, all those things go hand in hand.
I'm saying, just because you show up for work and punch the clock, but you don't know how to.
In a creative field, you ain't getting a job until I know you can do it.
Yeah. Unless you're getting a break unless you're getting. Can I reply to this comment? Women can't really do everything that a man can do. That's why God made a man and woman. Physically, there is difference, but a lot of jobs wise, yes, but not all. Hi, Joseph.
That's DJ Joe Storm. Yeah, I saw good one.
I just want to say that in this particular moment in time, when it comes to audio engineering, that the reality is, if you want to go by that, women are very detailed-ish, which is a perfect trait for an audio engineer.
Damn, Joe. Did
Joe say that?
Damn, Joe.
Wow.
So
damn, Joe.
Because there are some things y'all can definitely do better than me, but at the same time, when it comes to audio engineering, we on equal.
What are we talking about, Joe? We ain't talking about, you know.
Damn.
I'm sorry to put you on blast, Joe. I had to.
You didn't read the next one. He said, James Brown said it's a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman. All right, so he tried.
Yo, are you high?
Okay, you know I love you.
He tried to come back.
You know I love you, but that was a little iffy, man.
Of all people, damn, Joe.
Man, I wish I could see the comments. I probably would have blown up on that one.
You can't see.
No, because my computer's down. My computer's down. I can't.
You're using your phone to do that. Okay.
Again, damn, Joe.
He came back. He said men need women and women need men, period. So he tried to come back.
All right, Joe, you're forgiven, but dang,
you
about lost me there, babe. You about lost me.
I'm sorry, Joe. Every time you see me on this show, I ain't gonna let you slide. I couldn't do it.
He mean well. He mean well. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all good.
All right. Well, I think it's time to say goodbye on that dang on note. So MC Lyric, tell everybody how they can reach you, where they can find your fan fiction, whatever it is you're doing. How can they get in touch?
All right, if you want to read something, what's it called, like an epic or some of some type, go on fanfiction.net, look up From the Shadows. That is my story to the world. It is an epic, so if you don't like to read long, it's not for you, but if you do enjoy a good story to sit down with, I definitely recommend it. I have a Facebook channel called Lyrical Equation. Hit that up. I'm going to be starting my website next week, and my new YouTube page that is going to show my composition. So I will be advertising it on Lyrical Equation on my Facebook page very soon. Hit me up, MC Lyric. I'm always going to be on Cinda's site if I can be, if you can let me. What's it called? You'll be seeing my stuff, guys, though, for real. I can't wait to bring you on my journeys. I'm going to be incorporating a lot of stuff together. All these little bits, all these tidbits are all going to be coming together in one giant painting. I can't wait to show you and the world. So thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you. What's your so we got Lyrical Equation. What's your Instagram? Where can people
MC Lyric, m.c.lyriq. Lyric with the Q. Boom.
All right. All right. Shelly, you got anything going on?
No, just follow me on Instagram at Shelly Show Williams. Oh, I'm actually the keynote speaker at a graduation, a youth graduation this Saturday. Amazing program for youth, teaching them all about media, which is similar to the program I had years ago. So I'm grateful to be able to speak to the youth.
Let's go.
Very good. What
It's
about
called
kids?
I think it's Next in Line is the name of the program.
Awesome. Kid Disco, anything?
You know what? Two things.
Yo, I love you like a brother, but I've never had to give you one.
Down. Oh, Joe. Oh, Joe.
Yo.
DJ Joe Storm.
Bum, bum, ba-dum.
I didn't really want to do, if I'd have did that one, that'd have been, damn, Joe. Do you see all these? Damn, Joe.
I'm just glad I didn't see it. I'm glad. I've been mad at you, man. I'm gonna tell you. But
Yo,
I'm
hurt
not. Don't worry. We cool.
In the meantime, be tea time. Yeah, hi, brother. Listen. If you want a podcast, if you want a good podcast with some original beats and the whole production work, tell them, girlie. Yeah, I'm gonna make you do it right here, right now. I sure am.
Yeah, please, everybody, check out DJ Kid Disco. You can find him at Grown Folks Radio or Eddie Davis at Eddie Davis. He is a phenomenal engineer, producer, and he will help you put your podcast together. He is very good at it, and it'll be original. You won't have to use all that canned music from somewhere else, but it comes at a price. So be ready to pay up. But he won't try to steal your money. He's going to do a great job and help you get your stuff out there. Check it out. All right. So for me, I have two things that I want to mention. I'm very embarrassed, but look for the post. I have an autograph convention at the Dragon Fest on Saturday in Glendale, California. If you want an autograph, I'm going to be signing autographs for cash. So come on out. We can take a picture. No freebies. You got to pay for that too. But if you want to just come and say hi and meet me, come on to the Dragon Fest in Glendale, California. Also, I have Joel Washington Atterbury coming on the podcast this week. He's a poet extraordinaire. He's wonderful at what he does, and he's got a very, very interesting story. So please check out PPC Podcast. This Friday it drops at noon Eastern. It's called Poet.
I like him.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk to him.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. So come on, check out that Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and where most podcasts are found. And then he will be with us next week on the PPC Radio Show with Shelly Shell Williams, DJ Kid Disco, the crew. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and sharing and liking our our radio show, and we will see you again next week. God bless you all.